Oh. A little technical snafu.
I got tangled up. How did it happen?
That intro will get you
tangled
though.
up in my headset.
How did you? Oh, hold on. Let me turn my volume down.
Y'all. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to Touch Base
Oh,
Daily.
this purple does.
My name is Ron Foster, touching base with you as we do every day. And I'm with my partner in crime, Mr. Chris Edwards. Good morning, bro. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning. This purple does actually look really good on screen.
The purple looks great. I had to say, the purple looks really good on you. And the background and all the colors, you got it working, sir.
I'm loving this new office setup. You know, we've been adding things here and there. I added one of my hats, where is it? Right there this morning.
Yeah,
so we'll add a few things here and there to see how it plays. I like it.
Oh, and what were you going to remind me to do?
Hit the Instagram button.
Hit the Instagram.
Go live on Instagram because you weren't live yesterday on Instagram.
So I just hit the Instagram button. I just hit it. Okay, so now the Instagrammers are in, and if you're in Instagram, come over to YouTube.
Before you get started and saying hellos and stuff, I want to just give a shout out to a friend of mine. So one of my friends from England was watching yesterday. Don't be afraid to say hello. Don't be afraid to engage in chat in the actual chat. Even if you don't necessarily know what's going on in the United States politics, you can chime in, give your 2 cents. Don't be afraid. Yes. And this goes for anybody out there in the world.
Well, you know, it's always good. What makes this community unique in some ways is that we try to put all of the comments on the screen. Now, I know that I need to monitor when that time lag is. I'm working on my lagger. So if the subject is over, I don't need to post it. We just keep it moving. So
it can be difficult though, because we have like yesterday's chat was very lively. A lot of people were commenting. It was kind of hard to keep up. Because remember, not only are we sitting here engaging in conversation with one another and everyone else, but we're reading comments as well and still trying to keep the show moving. So it's a lot. And we don't have a producer in the background in our ears.
And see, we had a producer. There's some people out there that would like to be producers.
Listen,
as we are talking, they can just simply be going through the comments and posting them, because that's what you need. You need a producer to just do
that stuff. It's a lot. It really is a lot.
So hint, Adrian.
He already told you that you're taking away from his work day by having to come in here and comment. So don't ask him to be a producer.
Be the producer.
But I think you do need a producer. You're getting to a point where it's a lot.
Because now we're picking up, and we've been having a lot more people engaged,
especially if you're traveling, that would be really helpful.
Oh yes. For those that are just joining, today is our TrendWatch Thursday. We do this every Thursday where we just talk about the headlines. And there are 2 headlines that were just on fire for the last 24 hours. Well, one for the last 16 hours and the other one for 24 hours. So we'll be talking one about yesterday's presidential address meltdown. We'll talk about that.
Was it that?
It was horrible. It was the worst thing I have ever seen.
I've heard that.
Presidential.
Question. Did you watch it? Did you watch it live? I
watched it live. You know,
I refuse to watch him. I can't if I see him come on like any of my channels, whatever, I just have to switch it because his voice irritates the hell out of me. It's like yes. It is. That's exactly what it's like.
I hate his voice, and I don't hate too many things.
I hate seeing his face.
I mean, he really just gets under my skin, and so I knew that I needed to listen, because I want to be able to talk about current things that are happening on TrendWatch Thursday. So I said, let me make sure I do this. But I knew it was going to be a fiasco. I knew it was going to be horrible. I knew it was going to be
horrific.
Dude,
If
if you're in the building, make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you hit the likes so that the algorithms can wake up and let people know that we're here. So yeah, but that's where we are. And so the first thing is presidential meltdown. This was, like I said, it was something to be seen. Chris, I mean, you didn't see any of it, right? You didn't.
I didn't watch it yet. So typically, you know how I get my news is I'll watch like MSN Now or MS Now, their podcasts and stuff, or even the two ladies on oh gosh, what's the name of the channel? With the two ladies?
MS Now? Oh,
no.
I am. What is it? I am. No.
Well, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we know who we're talking with. Jen and Pump.
Yes. I will get it to there or like Don, but I didn't really get a chance to listen to Don this morning. I had it. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So I get a lot of stuff from there, and then also I do get stuff from like Associated Press and Bloomberg and stuff like that. So typically before the show, I will go ahead and do that. But this morning I was a little bit rushed to get some stuff done because I was cutting promos this morning and putting them up.
Well, I saw that and I was like, oh, look, I said, Chris is on it. And I'm trying to get back more into getting more marketing done about the show and what's happening. So I'm trying to get back into the swing. I used to do marketing all the time for the show. So I said, normally
I would do it at the beginning of the week, but this week has gotten away from me. So like I got this morning, showered, had a little breakfast, and then I came in here maybe about 8:30. And just did a couple takes, and I got one, and I just edited on Final Cut and threw it up there. I put it everywhere, so it's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's in stories. So yeah, it's on Facebook.
And I realized that I was getting ready to go into this presidential address meltdown without saying hello.
Let's say hello.
Hannah is in the building. She's the first person, as always.
Good morning, Hannah.
Goes to Hannah. She says, "Good morning, Ron and Chris and Touch Base Daily family." And just like that, this seems like a repeat from yesterday. Chris R is in the building with the silver. She says, "Good morning." And as we go down the line, there's Jazzy Jazz is in the building.
Come on, Jazzy.
Good morning, beautiful people. And then we have next in the building, Miss Boss Lady. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So everyone's here. The rest of the group,
people are trickling. They're trickling in.
They're trickling in.
Yeah.
But we will dive into. Let me just put that on the screen.
And we're a week away from Christmas.
Can you believe it?
Already, it was just Thanksgiving.
Man.
Even before you get into anything else, also, I just want to say, people, be careful out there. Take precautions. It is cold and flu season, and COVID is still around. I know a handful of people right now that have COVID. Actually, two handfuls between COVID and then the flu. And COVID is actually showing itself as the flu this year in a lot of cases.
Yeah, a lot of people. And I said, I was like, if I get on a plane, the worst. Health-wise, the worst time to travel is the holiday season because there's so many people traveling in the airports and all over the trains. You're interacting with so many people, and there's just germs being exchanged throughout the country and around the world. Yes, every breath you take.
Every breath. Oh, God, I'm not going to do that. I'm getting like you now.
Every breath you take is an inhale of germs.
Yeah.
So anyway, Arlicia is in the building. She says, "Good morning, everyone. So good to see you." Okay, so let's talk about last night. Now, I don't know. First of all, in the chat, how many of you did see the presidential address to the nation by Kenkel?
Taco tits.
Kenkel Taco Tits. Anyway, so here we go. Presidential address meltdown. So first of all, one thing that was I'm not even, you know what? I keep debating, should I share the footage? But
actually, you should.
He was, let me do that. Let me Let me get that.
Because then we all have a basis to go, a baseline to go off of.
Let me do that. Let me say that. Okay, hold
And
on.
since I didn't do my homework this morning,
You didn't do your homework, sir. But I mean, let me go to YouTube. I'm going to have to use YouTube for this. It was first he was yelling at us. He was yelling.
Jen Psaki had a good recap. I did see her recap this morning when I got it.
A great one. And let's use Jen's.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, Jen Psaki.
I thought she was very much on point with her assessment of it. And I've heard quite a few other people saying the same exact thing. So that's why. And they were referencing her. As a matter of fact, I think Don referenced her video this morning.
He did.
The little clip that I did see.
So let's go with that. Let's go with Jen Psaki because she really did a good job of sharing and breaking it down. Here we go. And obviously, the commercial's going to come on board first. Here we go. And it's a commercial. It will.
Listen, so I finally stepped up and got YouTube Premium this morning because I was like, I'm tired of these commercials. And they were getting longer and longer.
Here we go. Why does it keep going commercials? Okay, here we go.
Oh, another commercial.
And I don't hear it.
The president has just finished his address to the nation, and was that a speech? I mean, it felt almost like it was a bad, fast-talking infomercial with a lot of anti-immigrant language just intertwined in there. It was extremely loose on facts, and he basically tried to shout his alleged accomplishments at the American people as if that was going to convince them that they were all true. I'm going to get some reaction and experts help analyzing what he said in just a moment. But first, I just want to quickly fact check just a few. I mean, there were so many in there. We were working as quickly as we could. But just a few of the president's most blatant falsehoods. Tonight, Trump announced checks for $1,776 for U.S. troops. First of all, Congress controls the power of the purse in the country, not the president. So if that happens, that is Congress sending those checks, even if Trump puts his name on them. But that number, $1,776, is also kind of interesting, because an analysis from the Yale Budget Lab estimates that as of November, Trump tariffs have cost Americans an average of $1,700 per household this year. Trump also claimed that when he took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years. That's not true.
Lie.
The truth is that inflation had been declining from its peak of 7% during the pandemic. But since Trump took office, it has basically flatlined at 3%. It was 3% in January, and it's 3% today. In his campaign, Trump also claimed he would end inflation on day one. Now, just last week, the chair of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, said that, quote, inflation remains somewhat elevated. There you go. Trump said he's working to bring grocery prices down. Now, just this week, this is where it gets awkward for him, Trump's own agriculture department released a report showing that food prices are rising faster than inflation. And everybody, by the way, is living that at grocery stores. Trump also claimed that he's brought gas prices down to $1.99 a gallon. The national average for a gallon of gasoline was $3.11 when Trump took office. The national average today per AAA is $2.91. That is just a little taste and flavor, and I'm sure you all have your own lists at home. Again, just a short.
And there you have it. I mean, it was, and it went on and on and on. But every single thing was, well, we know when he opens his mouth, he is lying.
That's a lie. But he doesn't know what the truth is.
It was so, they always say unhinged. This was beyond unhinged. This was truly looking like, not to, because, my mom has dementia, but it was like watching a old dementia patient just talking. It was just like someone had lost their marbles and did not realize their marbles were on the floor and yet rolling on them. It was literally the worst presidential address. He would have been better to have silence, never had gone on air, never talked about it. Again, like Don Lemon said this morning, if you're talking about your accomplishments like you did, like he did, then you're probably not accomplishing anything, because he just ranted and talked about Biden and Biden this, and we inherit the worst economy, which is all a lie. This moron of a president, all he had to do was move into the White House and touch nothing.
Yeah.
No tariffs, nothing. He could have just put the country on autopilot and let what the Biden administration did with the economy, let it flow.
But
because,
see, he had.
I mean, look, unemployment 3 months in a row down. I should say going up. All you gotta do is just let it go.
He had a great baseline to start with. But here's the thing: it does not fit into his revenge narrative and blame everything on everyone else. This man has been in office now for 11 months. Okay, 11 full months, and all you and your administration continue to say is Biden this, Biden that, Obama this, Obama. Obama has not been in office in over 16 years, something like that? 8 years, whatever. He has not been in office that long. This man is so far removed from the presidency. All he has is his legacy, but all you can continue to complain about is that these people did this and did that. When Biden and when Obama were in office, they had to, of course, always pull the country from the brink because
of a crisis.
As we know, Republicans always create a crisis and Democrats always have to come in and fix it. And that is part of the problem why we can't be any further than where we are, because every time that Democrats make any headway, Republicans come back and tear it down, destroy it, and put us on the brink of disaster. And here's the thing. I'm not completely blaming the Republicans for this. This is a Democratic problem because instead of codifying a lot of these changes and efforts that they're putting in, they do executive orders, or they just like put it on the edge and leave it there saying, you know what, it's okay. No, you have to put all these things into law. You have to put people on the bench that will, push your agenda. And they're not doing that. They haven't been doing that. I hope moving forward, after the midterms and after this next election, if we have one, because that's in question,
yes,
they'll step up and do what they need to do. This is a different ballgame. This is not our parents' or our grandparents' democracy anymore.
Yeah, you bring out a point, but also I also blame the American people.
Yep.
How many times can the American people not get the freaking basics of understanding that when the Democrats are in office, there's progression economically. When the Republicans are in office, speaking as a former Republican, the Republicans are in office, we are always in a financial crisis. Bush, Iraq War. Trump, COVID, mismanagement.
And now probably Venezuela.
And then also with Bush, we had the economic meltdown, 2008. So I should say 7 going into 8. When will the American people wake up and get out of their heads that the Republicans are better for the economy? They are not. And we have 45 years to prove it.
Yeah.
45 years to prove that the Republicans, unfortunately, are horrible in running the government. They don't know how to legislate. They don't have great ideas. They are pathetic. They are the worst. And they never get better. That's why many of us are former Republicans. They don't even stick to the Republican agenda of conservatives. No.
That script has set sail a long time ago.
Anyway, and I always say I'm a Republican, a Frederick Douglass, Abraham Lincoln Republican. Anyway, moving. What else you guys are saying in here? I see Jazz in here. She says, you can't codify when you don't have control. The Dems have not had control since 2010. Well, no, they did have control in the first term of Biden. That's why we were able to get legislation passed for the CHIP Act and a bunch of other things. So, but yes, it's hard when you're in control for the first term or before the midterms, the first half of your term, and then your second half of your term, you lose control. Then that is a big problem.
But that's the time when you have to codify.
You have to codify. You have to pass legislation. The Congress is also at fault because the Congress has been giving away their authority for the last, again, 40 years. If Congress was doing their job, putting a check, or I should put a stop on the presidency when the presidency is off, you wouldn't have these problems.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Congress has, but only when Democrats have been in the presidency. When Republicans are there, they let them have free reign because they feel as though, we have power. It doesn't matter who is at the top, but we have that power. And they're so power hungry, they can't even see past their nose. Like they literally ceded everything to this man. Even the Supreme Court, like they've just given him free reign to do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, like Jazzy says, we are doing this to ourselves, and until we collectively get out of our own way, then we can actually progress in this country. I see Dr. Tachi sending some love out there. Oh, y'all, if you have not been watching Indie Suit Media and watching Dr. Tachi's show, Be More and celebrating Christmas this week, and Scope-Miss. Am I saying it right, Dr. Tachi?
Yes.
And last night we had our poet on. She was on yesterday, and so check it out every day. I think it's every day at 8:00. On YouTube
this week.
Yes.
You led off the series on Monday.
I off on Monday, and it was great yesterday. I was in the middle of unpacking because I'm on to my next venture. So
getting ready.
And I was yesterday saying, what does Aruba look like? And then I went and looked at Aruba, and then I said, maybe the St. Thomas's, maybe St. Thomas, maybe the south of France. And then my buddy, she got online, and after she saw me online yesterday, and my dear friend Clara from Ghana, and she's like a sister to me, and I've been trying to reach her for the longest and have not been able to reach her. And she finally reached out yesterday. And not turn the subject, but she reached out yesterday because she saw my video here online, and so we reconnected. So I told her, I said, I'm coming to all your homes because she has a home. They're well to do, and they have a home in Ghana, they have a home in Nigeria, they have a home in Scotland. And this weekend, for Christmas, as they go. They leave Ghana to go to Scotland, and from Scotland they go to Switzerland. Now, I don't know. Wow. I don't think they're home in Switzerland, but I told her, I said, well, you know what? Since you're going to be journeying around the world, most of the time they're in Ghana, I will pack my bags and try to hitch a ride and hang out with you guys. So good to reconnect with her yesterday, and it was beautiful. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there. I know we were in the middle of our, Mr. Kankles, but also in the nation. Jazzy says, that didn't have full control. That's the point. Yeah, full control. I got you, Jazzy Jazz. Elise is in the building. She says, I will say it again. If you become a Republican after 1965, you are not in the party of Frederick Douglass. I agree to disagree. In our heads we were. And
don't get Elise started.
I know, to get Elise started. Rashawn says, good morning, Miss Elise.
Good morning, Rashawn.
Elise is in the building, and Jazzy is taking her spot today as well. Jazzy is always giving her. I love Jazzy. we also have to be honest and about priorities. For instance, in 2022, when they did have control, we were trying to fix ourselves out of COVID 2010 if we were trying to fix healthcare and the economy.
Which is true. There's truth in there. Yeah.
Because we were trying to plan out and I have to, for those that will fight against the Biden administration, they did a great job. I will say, when you compare how America was able to get out of the COVID economy compared to the rest of the world, they did way better. Excellent job. And again, we were progressing. Yes, inflation was high, but inflation was coming down.
Now, and that was all a result of COVID, though. That was all a result of COVID.
Exactly. That inflation numbers came because of COVID. And that was called bad management. And we won't forget that there was a playbook for pandemics that was created by the Obama administration that they tossed into the garbage can.
Because it was created by Obama.
So they could have prevented, we might have been able to prevent a world pandemic, because America's role in the world is critical when it comes to fighting diseases and epidemics and pandemics.
You see what happens when you have a man who has nothing but hate in his heart for
hate.
It's specifically for one individual, because really this is what we're going through right now is a temper tantrum of a man that is trying to get back at someone who was better than him and criticize him in a public forum. This all goes back to the correspondence dinner when Obama made jokes about that guy. And ever since then, this is the world we're living in because of that. He couldn't take a joke.
Yeah. Couldn't take the joke. So are y'all ready to talk about those photos again from yesterday? Lord have mercy. So it was so funny yesterday, because we had a real good conversation about those photos by Vanity Fair. And Chris and I are photographers. So we just share our opinion from being photographers, things that we do when we are hired by our clients to photograph, like in corporate environments, and what they allow us to photograph and what they allow to be published on their websites or maybe their magazine or whatever it is that they're doing. And we knew that from yesterday's, when we looked at those photos in Vanity Fair, we realized that this was intentional. Because a photographer, first of all, of this gentleman's, well, let me just share with this guy.
His caliber.
And this Instagrammer really brings it home. Let me see if I can get to the beginning of his page. Let's see here. Let's go there. Let me just stop this one and put this one on. And you may just get a piece of this, but here we go. And he brings it home. Let's talk about it.
Is declining, and people are consuming social media and video networks as a main form of news consumption. The power of strong images like this are even more important. And this is so not about normalizing or platforming these people. The reality is that these are the power players who are running this country. They exist, it's happening. And Vanity Fair is doing its job of reporting, and a lot of that being done and communicated through the visuals. And this is just a reminder that aesthetics are not neutral or frivolous. They're part of the argument. This is what strong journalism looks like in a visual-first world. Because these Vanity Fair portraits are doing just as much reporting as the written article. And I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to use these as an example of the power of imagery. So I kid you not, when I was scrolling today and I saw this photo posted by Vanity Fair, I thought it may have been a mistake or a glitch from the app. It wasn't. And this is why this article is so smart. Not just because of the words, which are great, but the storytelling power of how it's aesthetically put together. And this is not a video about politics, my personal opinion on these people, or this administration. And the thing is, these photos aren't bad, they're intentional. The super tight framing, the high saturation, the isolation of the subjects, even something as small as what's on the TV in the background. All of it mirrors the tone and direction of the reporting and the story about these power players behind the scenes. And for context, these images were shot by Christopher Anderson, who is a very big deal in the portrait photography world. And these are just examples of him having shot George Clooney, Jeremy Allen White, Gigi Hadid. Beautiful images. And this tells us that this is not amateur work. This was intentional visual language. And in a world where reading in general is declining and people are consuming social media.
And so it was interesting that we pretty much said the same thing that this gentleman was saying. And we realized as photographers, you could not have had that many rough shots of these individuals and not be intentional. And again, the way they were shot, the angles they were shot, the things they left into the photo, the things that they did not remove from the photos. And so I'm going to bring up that. Chris, you share, what was your feedback after you saw other people saying exactly what we were saying yesterday?
So, after the show, we always do like a little recap, whatever. But then the minute I got off, I was in my social feeds and even on YouTube, I was seeing a lot of people commenting on the photos, and they were saying exactly the same thing that we were saying. And that just reinforced our conversation. Now, these were photographers. These were other news commentators on different platforms saying the same exact thing, how they felt as though that the imagery was just as important and powerful as the written words that were on that page or on the screen. You just cannot get around how intentional these photographs were. And I thought that they were striking, they were poignant, they really told a sub-story of what was going on. Like we talked about yesterday, like this really showed these people for who they actually really were. Mean-spirited, they're always contradictory, they're always projecting, and like Caroline Levis, like everyone was questioning, well, were those where her injections for her fillers were? That was one of the big ones. And Marco Rubio, how just stark and dark his imagery was. And the other little fool in the corner, I forget his name.
Steve Miller.
The comparison of the photos that were put up, you have imagery of and Germany, we won't say that word, but Germany and the Holocaust and like those type of imagery you get from that period. They put his imagery next to that. And it clearly tells a story. Like,
look at this. I mean, and we talked about this yesterday. And so we're rehashing something we talked about yesterday. And the reason why we're rehashing it is because so many people were talking about it, and so many people were talking about it, about most of the things we covered yesterday on this show, in our community, was shared. And it was so funny because I was like, wait a minute, am I watching our show again? Are we watching what we talked about? Because on Don Lemon, it was on the other show. Every other show I turned to on YouTube or on Instagram was saying the same exact thing. And so just look, and just again, we'll scroll through these photos real quick, and then we'll go to some of the
one other thing to point out. Some of the commentators were also mentioning the fact that no one really reads anymore, and it's such a visual medium, social media, like Instagram, even like YouTube. You're not really reading, or you're looking at the visuals. This was so impactful because it's hitting people where they actually are. You see these images on people's social media feeds, especially like Instagram or X or Blue Sky or any of those other social media feeds. People can relate to these because this is where they are. These images capture who these people are and speak to the time that we are living.
Man, I mean, these photos are just absolutely again, or like this shot, how small she looks. Adrian mentioned this, how small she looks. Look at the pictures are big, the walls, the framing, the doorways. She's melted into the background. She's small. She's a small person.
No, but you said something very interesting, how she melts into the background. That's actually what she does. And if you read the article, she talks about how she just kind of sits in the background, absorbs everything that's going on around her. So this image actually really speaks to what she was saying in the article.
Yeah. Literally, I mean, I would say with some say, oh, I can't believe that he made, the artist Chris made the did these photos. And I was like, this is remarkable work. I mean, I love when people can speak and communicate through their photographs.
Yeah.
And these photos nailed the article. If you read the article, you will see that every photo laid out matched the individuals that the article was talking about.
Someone had commented about, is this photojournalism? This is photojournalism. I would not be surprised if he wins some type of award for this photo montage and collection. And here's the thing. All these people pose for these photos. It's not as though he snuck in and took these photos of these people. They all willingly pose for these photos.
Yeah. Or like this shot. I mean, most of us as photographers, we would find a white wall, a area that is, nice. We would, and if we did have, and this was talking about this on some other shows yesterday, we would just crop out the switches, the thermostat. We would just say, it's not necessary. So you would just eliminate it. But, and so it's, I told one of my close dear friends that I would share, but look at this.
Oh, someone really pointed out this photo, how like his gut was just sitting over his trousers. Yes. They literally circled it and posted it. He just seems so unserious, and like the scowl on his face, like that does not make you powerful. Like you look angry, you look unenthused, like you're not even a part of this, like you don't even want to be here. Like that's the imagery and what I get from this.
Yeah, it's so it is so, like I said, these photos are worth. I would also may agree with you, Chris. If there's a photo award for the year for publications, this might get it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
Look at all the conversation that this thing has struck up
in 24 hours.
Like people are talking. I mean, they're talking about the article. They're really just discussing and breaking down the photos like we are.
Yeah. People, and that's it. Well, we photographers, I mean, that is the whole purpose of getting off the camera. Is we aim to cause conversation. One of the reasons why we photograph is we are capturing what people don't see. And this whole collection is all about what people are not seeing. But now, because of this, Chris, again, for this article is Chris Whipple, who is an expert on the chief of staff position.
He's written a book. What? He's written a book on that as well.
And he's interviewed every chief of staff.
Yeah.
In the White House for the last, I do believe I think it's the last 4 administrations or 5 administrations. Yeah. So, but anyway, if you get a chance, look at it. There's a whole bunch of information, but I do want to share with you something from the actual photographer. And I was so happy to see the response of the photographer. Now, I was like, I don't know if this is a cleanup or like cleanup on aisle 5, but he does share something, and I'm just gonna go to it right now. Hold on a second. Let's get that on the screen for you. And okay, here we go. Let's get to that article. Here we go. And Touchbase Daily. Sorry about that as I click away over here. And this is from, oops, not that one. Sorry, not that one.
Well, while you are looking for that, I just want to bring up something else that we can talk about afterwards. The Presidential Walk of Fame and the plaques that were added to the imagery. We can talk about that afterwards. Just I just want to bring it up.
Woo! Sorry, sorry, my bad. Today's a good day for some good headlines. This is the article. So Christopher Anderson photo remarks, and he shares. Let me see if I can I blow this up a little bit? Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. You get.
There you go.
And he really lays it out. He says, if I am honest, I was hesitant to accept the assignment from Vanity Fair magazine to photograph the Trump administration. I assumed incorrectly that I was being asked to wear my celebrity photographer's hat. My journalistic sensibility just would not be comfortable portraying politicians the way celebrity photographers have in similar portfolios of past administrations. Not this subject, not this context. And he goes on. To my surprise, global creative director Jennifer Pastor assured me that this was not the job. The job was to bring my sensibility as a journalist and to see the subject with a clear eye rather than that of a celebrity photographer. The job was not to make anyone look good or bad. My mission was to show up and photograph honestly and thoughtfully. Jennifer made the case to me that I would have this freedom and that my DNA as a journalist was the most important qualification. It would be an enormous challenge and opportunity. I also saw it as an immense responsibility. The internet seems shocked by the choice to not retouch any blemishes or wrinkles. It's shocking to me that the world expects reality to be removed from a picture. My intention is not mockery or cheap shots. I like to think I'm a stone-faced but critical observer. Celebrity photos are celebrity photos. Politicians are not celebrities. Let's not mix things up.
I love that explanation.
I was like, dude, yo, this was nice. That was nicely done.
And this photo shows him as the stone face person that he is. Lack of emotion, lack of empathy, lack of moral judgments. He looks like a marble stone statue.
He looks like something from 1933, 1930, 1932. And you know where I go with that. That he is, if you took this photo, you would think it was right out of the German archives.
Yeah.
But here they are close again. I mean, he lays them out really nice. The wrinkles, like you see all the dots in her lips from who knows what they are, but again. So that was a great response. And I wanted to make sure that since we talked about it yesterday, and I did send him a message like saying, dude, this was excellent. I love what you did. And I'm sure other photographers must have reached out to him as well. And so he gave us an answer to all the questions that most of us had. look at this. This shows this man. I mean, all of these photos represent each one of these individuals.
He looks like a man that has been beaten down.
Down.
Mark Rubio was, a respected Republican with different views, and you can't argue with, his views. His views were his views, but he was respected. And the moment he capitulated, kissed the ring, kissed the ass, whatever you want to call it, this is the evidence of what he has become, and it's written all over his face. This man looks like he has been beaten down into submission
by his lies, his conceit, his deceptions, his bigotries. This man has been. This is not the Marco Rubio, or maybe it is. And like they said, a lot of times power and fame and money don't change a person. They just reveal the person.
Yeah. Maybe what we saw before was him acting. Yeah. And this is the real Marco Rubio.
I love these photos. I do love the photos.
You know what I love about this one? Go back one.
The reflection?
The reflection, but also how far away he is from the camera. It's like he's not really there, but then also he's two-faced it. You see two sides of him. Also intentional.
These are all intentional. Every composition, every frame is saying something.
Can I tell you something? I would love to see his notes on these people before he went to shoot them, because I'm sure when he showed up, he had notes on all of how he wanted to capture them, because how he saw their personalities. Because he's emulated and captured their personalities to a T in these photos.
The deer in headlights. It's just. And you know what? And kudos to Vanity Fair for letting Christopher Anderson have free reign to do what he needed to do to do his photojournalism.
But that's why you hire people to let you hire certain photographers and writers, because of what they bring to a story. If you hire someone and then try to control their narrative, then what's the point? You can just hire anybody off the street. You're hiring these people for a certain reason. And I'm so glad they allow them to show their artistic expression unabashed. You know what I mean?
Look at Marco Rubio. It's just, the photos say it all. And so not to beat the dead horse, but I will tell you, I thought this was worth going back over, since we are photographers and a lot of us love photography in this community. And it was definitely one of those moments yesterday when I was looking at all the other shows and looking at all the other people speaking about it. Literally everything we talked about yesterday in this community was shared. Yeah. And so it's nice when you're on the right page, because as photographers, we be knowing. Photographers see what the average person doesn't. When we walk in the room, our eyes are roaming the space. We are looking at every individual. We're looking at every shadow, every light. We're looking at the space itself. We're looking at how people are interacting. We're looking at the movements of the people. We're photographers. And I say this, you heard me say this many times before. Photographers are the eyes of the world.
Yeah, we see moods, we see moments, and you're always trying to capture a moment.
Yeah, class says definitely tells a narrative and message.
Yeah.
So anyway, where are we? It's 11:52.
We got a couple minutes. Let's just talk about that.
The Hall of Fame.
The Walk of Shame and Hall of Fame, I guess you want to call it. This man, everything he does is so gaudy. I'm not even gonna say over the top, because over the top is one thing, but when you're just gaudy for no reason, it just looks so bad. These picture frames are horrible. The images, and then like even like the image he uses of himself, like, dude, seriously, that's the photograph you picked of yourself? No one cares. But anyway, so all these photos that are happening in that breezeway that's connecting to the Oval Office have plaques underneath of them. He has gone back and added additional plaques under President Obama and President Biden. And basically what it is a conclusion, or it seems as though he wrote it on Truth Social and gave it to wherever they get these done and said, put this on a plaque and we're going to put it underneath these people's pictures. This man is so petty and vindictive and small that you put those words up for these people. And then he's gone back and added things under like President Reagan saying how President Reagan liked him way before he was, even considering like politics. Like, sir, you are so self-absorbed that you have to even go and do that.
It is. Hey. I'm trying to get the right one to share with you guys so that way you can see what we're talking about. Let's see here. Here we go.
I have one, but it just doesn't have the writing on it. It just
I have it. Here we go.
Close. Okay, good.
I have it. Here we go. And so this was what's going on. This was also headlines for yesterday and today. And let's see. Here we go. So this is from CNN. New plaques on Trump's presidential Walk of Fame. Let me see if I can get that to be more. Let's see. And presidential Walk of Fame. Will I go on this? Where it go? Okay, there we go. Can you see it? Or did it
no. Did it do another pop up? You have to click on that one.
Yeah, let me pop on that. Let me pop on the new pop up. Sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. And back to the pictures. Here we go. So this is the article is called Trump's White House Hangs Images of Biden, Auto Pen Signature, and New Presidential Walk of Fame. And then but then the new ones. Okay, this is not the one with the new plaque on underneath it. Dog it. Okay, let's see here. Okay. But that Walk of Fame and that, this is what it looked like.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna put this in the chat. It has it right here, and it's actually a good blow up of it.
And nobody knows that better than Olive Garden.
Hold on a sec. The commercial.
From breadsticks,
past the commercial.
Homemade soup, and garden fresh salad. That
check the private chat. Use this one.
Favorites piled high.
Okay.
It's everything you love about the holidays, just with Alfredo. Whether it's catered to your table or at ours.
Okay, let's leave that.
Celebrate more this season with Olive Garden when you're here.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I see it, buddy. I got you.
Okay.
Here we go. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Chris. This is the one I needed. Okay. And there it is. So this is what we're talking about.
And you can scroll over on the images. There's an arrow on your right side. If you click, it'll show a close-up of one of them.
Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Hold on a second. Got a little difficulty here. Hold on a second.
You see the arrows on the picture?
Yeah, got it.
There you go. Yeah.
So this hallway also was,
which is outside.
Yeah, and it was just a plain space with photos. And then he's gone with his gold touches. So
these appliques look horrible. They look cheap. And he just like plastered them everywhere throughout this building.
Yeah. So I mean, if you hear about it today, that's what they're talking about. I got another. Hold on a second here. Okay, there we go. So I got another voice in my head. I got another voice in my head. Sorry about that, guys. Let me just close something out. Okay. So Chris, what's next? Anything else?
No, those are the ones I had. I mean, those are the three big ones.
Dr. Tyson, and if you're going to do gold appliques,
yeah, let them match.
At least match.
No, it's true. Like it's like different tones of gold. I mean, I get there's nothing wrong with mixed metals, but one, they're not even like real. It's not even real gold. It's like these appliques you can buy from Home Depot. Someone actually went to Home Depot and found the exact same ones that he's used, and they painted them gold and just like applied them to the building. He did that inside the Oval Office, and he's done it all throughout the White House. It looks so cheap.
And again, as interior designers and you being an architect, it is unnerving to see how ugly this looks.
Here's the thing. I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think you can do these things in a fashionable way, but when you start just plastering it everywhere with no consciousness to it, it makes it look cheap and gaudy for no reason. These look horrible. Look at some of the placements of it. He's putting them on pediments. He's putting them on lintels. And there's no rhyme or reason. There's no symmetry. I can see if this building was designed to have those designed originally in mind, it would make sense. But he's just doing this. And then also, why does it have to be gold? If they were just like white and blended in, they wouldn't stand out as much and wouldn't call so much attention. These appliques are a call to him. This is what he does. He's always looking to grab attention, and that's what that is doing. And not in a positive way, because it just doesn't look good. The same way he doesn't look good. And then wasting taxpayer money. Yes, Jazzy.
Exactly. No disrespect to flea market shopping. She says it.
No.
It's just, but they read some of the quotes that he put underneath each one of those photos. And that's really the story, is that they were vindictive, petty. They were taken from his Truth Social postings, and they were just horrible. I mean, think about it. This is the people's house, as it's referred to. And this is where all of the pictures of all the presidents, and at first it was just a hall of just the presidents. He has totally made this into it's a mockery, because now it's not only the pictures have been rearranged, gold has been added to everything, and then underneath every one of those plaques is something ridiculous.
But here's the thing. He didn't even need to do this, because all the presidential portraits are in the White House already. And he's relocated most of them so that his are prominent. And then what he's even using are like social media post photos and framing them and hanging them up. Like, what the hell?
The country is going to have a lot of cleanup to do.
Kyle, you know, when you go in and do a flip on a house and you need to stage it to be sold, we're going to have to rip everything out and start over again.
Redo the whole White House, take things down. Yeah. Speaking
of which, can we talk about how now the White House grounds now has a hole in it? Because that building, that ballroom is not going to get built, because now they're in court. He ripped down a building that he had no business ripping down. The architect that he hired to build this thing said he's not doing it, and no one's going to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
And on top of that, yesterday, instead of it costing $200 million, now it's going to cost $400 million.
Every few months, the price keeps going
But you
up.
know why? Because more people have got their hands in it, more cutback, more you know how to do.
Inflation.
No, talking about the money in the back pockets. People are gonna get
Oh
paid
yeah,
extra money
that
here,
yeah.
the extra dollars here.
It won't get built.
The
It literally
fleecing of America.
the next administration that comes in there is going to have to deal with this. He ripped down a perfectly good building that he did not have the right to tear down. He didn't get approval to do that, but this is what he does. He comes in and destroys things.
Everything he touched dies. So the book author says.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is so guess what, guys? Since now we're going to close out, but I would like to also let you know that today we're doing this is the first of its now that we're doing this new thing here. We have a guest coming on at 2:00. So we'll have a 2:00 show, and it's called The Convo. And so we'll be getting together with our wonderful Dwayne Knight. He will be here and talking about photography, but mostly he'll be talking about being a DJ. He is a gospel DJ. And he does a lot of gospel DJing on Sundays and in different places. He gets hired to do it. And we're talking about what it is to be a photographer in this day and age, because in a lot of cases, most photographers have to, just like any other position, have multiple jobs. And he loves music. And so we'll be talking about that at 2:00. So 2:00, you can join us. And if you are available, and this is Mr. There it is, the Convo. So that's what I'm calling it now. And because we'll do interviews of photographers or anything related to photographers and photography and creatives. So this is called The Convo, focusing on what matters with Ron Foster and special guest photographer and gospel DJ, Mr. Dwayne Knight. So check us out at 2:00. 2:00 today.
Cool. Definitely be watching.
Again, for those that missed, I'm going to keep sharing it because we got such a good feedback on it. On our Tip Tuesday, I surrendered the Tip Tuesday to LaVon Hall. She gave information on Adobe Lightroom, Lightroom Classic, and Photoshop. So you can check that out in the repeats and just go to the YouTube channel and you'll be able to see it. Again, if you're a part of the community, make sure you go and post on the community board, YouTube community board we have there. You can post photography, text messages, conversation, engagements with one another. Also, if you want to join our email list, join the email list, and that we can stay in contact with you in case these cyber streets are no longer. Also, I'm an event photographer. If you're looking for a photographer for commercial and residential and family and all that good stuff on photojournalism is events. You can give me a call, slide into my DMs. And also, again, thank you to our Patreon members. You make this possible by supporting what we do here. And if you want to become a Patreon member, just go onto the QR code. It should take you straight there to our Patreon community and where everything lives. Okay, I think I got it all in there, Chris.
Can you put it on YouTube?
And there, oh yes, forgot about that. Join the YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. And then also you have something coming up on Friday, tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow is the season finale of Safe Space. I'm going to record the finale right when I get off with you. It's going to be a retrospect of this past season of our 3 guests that we had on. We had such a great season, 3 very different individuals. So I'll be recapping that and then looking forward to the spring season. So definitely check that out on Indie Suit Media and Constantly Changing for me over on YouTube tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Okay, there you have it, guys. So we're going to end it right here. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll be on tomorrow, our Focus Friday, and where we focus on accounts that inspire, encourage, and inform. So we'll do that tomorrow. And I see some comments in the box. I see some applause. I see some hearts. Rashawn says, she said, I am excited for later today. Can't wait to watch. Yes, it's gonna be Dwayne. You guys know if you've been with our community, Dwayne has been on before. He was talking about funeral photography because he photographs funerals. That's his specialty. And also, Photo Ken is in the building. He said, "What about his punctuation, grammar?" Oh, he's talking about back to the plaque. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, here we go, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.